It's our anniversary! Whoop, 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 whoop. Welcome to the show. I am Morayo Afolabi-Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. Monday today, our anniversary was actually 29th of May. But because it was weekend and Saturday, we're celebrating ourselves today. It's 8 years of Your View!
Yes!
Whoop, 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 whoop. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Ima Akashat Zibiri.
I'm grateful to God. What a week I had last week, but we started school today. Everybody is cleared. I'm good to go. And I'm just grateful to God. I was at YK's birthday on Saturday. You know, the Uncle Pio's version. So he had called me. I was accusing him that he didn't see me, he didn't ask of me. So he said to him, we'll have another birthday on Saturday, but you guys were missing. He said that everybody should. There was a table reserved for the ladies of Your View. It's cheers.
Oh, really?
And you guys were missing. I was sitting there with Jumoke. And it was fun. I saw YK cry. I saw YK celebrated by family. And really, when you analyze who YK is, she's actually been a family person. You know, when other people have things to show, YK has been the rock that binds family. I listened to the poem written by one of our nieces, and you go humble.
It's interesting, you know, because my husband was analyzing something, was saying that when YK was probably younger, you know, in her 30s, people would have judged her. Dancers, what's going to be her end? You know, they judge her according to but not knowing that this is a woman she has been able to get those values regardless of her surrounding that she grew up. I mean, and she's a product of a mother and a father who loved her. And when you love, no matter what circumstance the child is, when that love is consistent, the child really grows and to become. So today we see her, she's 60 years, and you compare and contrast some people that you're abusing and something like that. You compare the fact that today she's happy and being celebrated by family and love. It's a different story, and I'm grateful to God for her life. How are you doing, Topsy?
I'm good.
How was your weekend?
Weekend was pretty was a restful weekend. More time reading. Honestly, I'm reading. You would think I'm reading for an exam. Like, there's nobody writing an exam for me. There's nobody gauging what I'm reading, but I need the knowledge. So I am so dedicated to acquiring the knowledge. I've given myself timeline for the number of books I want to read on marketing and real estate and finance. And when I talk to a young person who is like, the exam, I'm not going to see when life is your exam.
Yes. Telling you.
Real life is your exam, and you're reading to equip yourself for real life. So this weekend was at home. I danced in the rain on Saturday. I'm grateful to God. I'm grateful for the show. I'm grateful for the platform. Honestly, I don't take this for granted. And sometimes you just get a bit used to it. But when you get feedback from people, you just realize this is huge. You know, and I'm doing
amazing. I wasn't meeting at the party. I didn't know about it. Nobody invited me. Yeah. So, but Saturday was Nurturing the Nurturer. Yay! It was a success. I'm so grateful to God for all the participants, all the facilitators. It was a good one. Zoom tried to mess us up somehow. Somebody was able to clone someone's account, and then they got into the meeting, and they were trying to disrupt the meeting. Right. But thankfully, everything was sorted. The participants were excited about it. And we'll be having the next one in August.
Oh, yeah. Well done, well done. I attended, and I thought it was really interesting. Thank you. I enjoyed Wilson's session. I also enjoyed Doris.
Yeah.
I also enjoyed the other person on innovation. It was great, and I think you're doing a great job. And I think that you're just growing, you're going to become better at this. And very soon, we'll be hearing globally that you are doing this international, bringing like 10 different countries coming together, you know what's all done. So, I mean, Friday was great because I said in my interview for the book that I'm working on. It was a great. It was pretty interesting. So we talked about the beginning, my growing up and all that. And Saturday, what did I do?
You went to a party. Those of us that were following you online.
Saturday I went to the party.
Oh yes,
we know what you are doing.
You know, it was fun. It was nice to, you know, I mean, Chief Mrs. Shadi Okoye is very sweet and nice. And I'm going to share some of the stories of how friends in that circle, that we used to be very close friends. I mean, we used to be very close. But I took myself away to find myself, And it was good to find and see other friends again and just hang out. It was a good experience. Sunday I slept. I think I did something on Sunday. I can't remember what it was, but I thank God for it. But it's our anniversary. We're grateful to God for this platform. As said, we don't take it for granted. A lot of people would love to have this kind of platform, but I thank God for the opportunity that when we started Your View, there wasn't a TV show that had women getting together. And we'll reminisce in a minute. Let's just go on a quick break. When we come back, we go through the front pages of the papers. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
All right, we're going to start with The Nation. Oprah over more killings, abductions in Oyo and Imo. Forex speculators responsible for Naira crisis, says APCON. South Middle Belt leaders demand power shift from North. Bandits demand 180 million Naira for George and others. Buhari to open the Lagos-Ibadan standard gauge June 10th. Varsity workers seek licensed guns for protection. Okay, which story are we taking? The major headlines.
Yes, I can start with the major headlines. So yesterday, the Adamawa State politician and the former President Goodluck Jonathan's political advisor, Ahmed Gulak, was killed by gunmen. So according to the story, they said he stepped out of his hotel. He was heading to the airport. He didn't tell his security aides, and then he just went with the driver. But then the driver took another route and was accosted by unknown gunmen. And they demanded the car keys to his, I think it was Sienna that he had, and he refused. And so they gunned him down and disappeared. So the presidency has spoken. They are saying that they need to fish out all of the people involved. They are, speaking to Hope Uzodinma, that's the Imo State governor, that he needs to do something about this, and everyone that has been involved must be, gotten and apprehended so that they can suffer the punishment. And though other people are now speaking that, okay, it's not taking the presidency long to speak up because it has to do with someone who is a politician. But when we have the ordinary Nigerians kidnapped and everything, we don't hear him come out under 24 hours to speak up.
The police followed the eyewitness account because the driver survived. They followed the description of the car. They found the men. They had intercepted a truckload of onions and were distributing the onions because he was heading from the north. According to the account in the Daily Trust, that they were distributing the goods from the truck to people, villagers, and they confronted them at that point. There was a shootout. They killed about 6 of them. 4 survived but were badly wounded. They recovered them, bullets and AK-47 rifle from them and guns from them. And then they also took the body of the late politician, to Abuja, and he's been laid to rest around 8 p.m. last night. But, they sorted out this. They immediately followed up and, they were able to execute this. And they said he was in Owerri for the constitutional review. He had been offered a lift on the private jet that he declined. And he said he had unfinished business in Owerri, stayed back, and then he decided to travel
to the airport.
Without security.
Really sad. May his soul rest in peace.
Amen.
The varsity workers, you have that story?
No, I was going to take the story of the southern, the middle belt.
It's in other papers. There's a major
so the varsity,
yes. So, you have that story in varsity.
Non-teaching staff of public universities are expressing worry over the growing state of insecurity, and they are asking the federal government to license their security operatives, that's their security officials in the universities, so that they can carry guns. Because when they have that, it will reduce the workload on the federal and state police, but then they will be able to better protect themselves. So they are requesting that they want this license so that they can better protect themselves from all the kidnappings that are happening.
Moving on now to the
more license, everybody. Let all of us
The Punch. States bank on PPP projects as cash crunch bites harder. Picture here of NDLA bust Abuja drug syndicate, arrest 10 and 107 kg drugs seized. 6 arrested stealing rail track in Ogun. Crime weapons recovered. Suspected husband raid Ebonyi, Benue, Enugu communities and killed 46. Gunman assassinates or your businessman at hospital refuses attending to victim. Again, abductors invade Niger school, 200 students kidnapped, 1 killed. AMCON drags 3,000 defaulters to court over 5 trillion naira debt. And 119 passengers from high-risk countries refuse isolation in Lagos. Okay, which story are we taking?
It's major headline.
Let's take the major headline.
Across the country, generally, most states are admitting to the hardship that, they have paying salaries following the NNPC's suggestion that the subsidy payment is now becoming a burden and that they cannot continue to do that. Most states are admitting that, yes, they have that, but they will not get themselves to the Kaduna, kind of circumstance. That they are also looking to take over developing their states with PPPs and, partnering citizens across the country on certain developments. States like Bauchi, Sokoto, and all of that, they also acknowledge that these were the methods they were using. Ekiti said we're already doing that. Most of them are saying, Ogun State said that's the basis of our development in Ogun State. We are already developing based on PPPs already. Right. And we know Lagos, of course.
All right, I want to take the NDLA story. So the NDLA actually busted a lady, 28-year-old lady, and her boyfriend and about 8 others. They were arrested in this way. She had an online Instagram account saying, Essays Urban Secret, and was tracked to be actually, that's where they sell Arizona, which is a very popular weed that is sold here. And her arrest was able to get them to trace and track others. So with further investigation, they were able to get 400 grams of the Arizona. And they also saw one Yama Patrick and saw him with 450 grams of another Arizona. Oh, wow. And then they were able to just, based on her arrest, they were able to get quite a few others. But again, we might also need to remind ourselves that the NDLA seems to be working. Sometimes it reminds you that leadership is all about, when a function of an organization is usually about the leadership. Yes. Once the leader is right. Because you don't see him on television. We don't see him speaking. He's working. You only see Baba Femi talking.
And this is a man that is focused on strategy. Set of people.
It's the same Nigerians that are working. So when you have the right leader, sometimes the job gets done.
Baba Femi, in terms of a job well done on their PR.
Communication. Communicating the good work being
done. That is his job. Yes. Simple. We don't see the chairman talking all the time.
He's busy working.
He's busy working.
So I'll take a picture story for the display of the drugs.
Oh, yes, tell the story.
They are owing, Nigeria, we are owing plenty. Nigerians are owing money. And AMCON is saying, the Asset Management Corporation of Nigeria is saying that if only we can recover some of the debts that is being owed, we will be able to fund a lot of the projects. Currently, we're owing like 3,000 Nigerians are debtors to AMCON to the tune of 5 trillion naira. What? And about 10% of that money is, about 10% of the 3,000, about 350 people cover 80% of the debt. So if only we can get 350 people to pay their own, we will not be complaining the way we are complaining right now. Please. And a lot of these bankers are culpable. The banks are culpable because they give debts, they give loans to people that they know without having proper collateral to back up.
Human interest story, the human account, the
6 arrested stealing the rail track.
Rail tracks, yes. So in Ogun State, suspects named Taiwo Ismaila, Egbekunle Abiodu, Abdullah Sani, Nuru Ibrahim, Wasiu Aweda, and Babatunde Sikiru were arrested following information, and they were caught, right in the act, and their weapons used for, cutting the rails were also recovered. They include 27 rail iron rods, 2 burning torch with hose, 6 long cylinders, 3 short cylinders, and 1 intercoder Volvo truck with registration number that I don't need to mention, that were recovered by the police. They were caught in the act, destroying
really bad.
Our Commonwealth for whatever reasons.
Yeah, so the Lagos State Commissioner for Health, Professor Akin Abayomi, raised the alarm that 119 passengers from high-risk countries have refused to be isolated after they came back into the country. He's appealing to the family members of these people to please return them for isolation. He said that since the commencement of the new guidelines, some of these countries that we had an initial ban, India, Brazil, and Turkey, some of their passengers were able to come into Nigeria, about 568 of them, and they have isolated 433 passengers. They have 262 in isolation. The 433 passengers are in various accredited hotels, and they have 154 passengers that have been discharged from COVID-19 without having COVID-19, so they were negative when they ran the test, and 9 of them were positive. So they are saying that if you do not release your family members to come back for isolation, if they are Nigerians, they are going to deactivate their passports for 1 year. If they are foreigners, they are going to return them back to their countries.
Right. Okay, let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue with the front page review. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. Now, let's move on to the Vanguard. 2023, drop amendments, give Nigerians new constitution. Uncertainty in Southeast over IPOB stay-at-home order. First Bank ranks second most admired financial service brand in Africa. Presidency may reintroduce water bill in June, says investigation. Solution to insecurity lies with Nigerians, says Obasanjo. Bandits kill 2, kidnap 200 Islamic school students in Niger. Yoruba nation agitators storm Idiroko, attempt to open border. And headsmen kill 44 in Oyo, Ebonyi, Enugu, and Nasarawa. Okay, let's start with the major headline.
Yes, so the Southern and Middle Belt Leaders Forum have asked both the ruling party, APC, and the PDP to zone the presidency of 2023 to make it a Southern ticket to the South. The forum urged the federal government to eat this. That is a genuine call. Everybody is asking for equity. Another thing the forum spoke up concerning was that we don't need constitutional amendments. They were specific in saying that there should be restructuring, according to the communique, and restructuring of the country before 2023, asking the federal government to declare a national emergency on security. And then they spoke to themselves, people that are in the South and people that are in the Middle Belt, that don't take any political appointments that is meant to distract from the goal. The goal is the presidency of this country.
And I think I like the Chief Edwin Clark, because it's not like, I don't know, you people, they're very, very straight. They don't mince words. It was very specific. He said, Mr. President is not an emperor. He's not a king. He's not a monarch. He's a politician. And he came out at the time where people like us were in politics. He was just a soldier, a military, ordinary soldier at the time, that we want a brand new constitution. That the current one is not going to work. And the only thing that they are asking for is that let us drop what we have right now and create a whole new one. And then the equity, as you said, have zone the presidency to the South. And they were insisting that if you don't do this, you're going to kill Nigeria. Because you told us that if you don't get rid of corruption, corruption will fight back. And we're saying the same thing, that if you don't restructure, this whole thing is going to kill the country we call Nigeria.
I think we've spent a lot of time trying to make you have a unitary constitution for a federal system of government. We have spent a long time trying to make it work. Yes, it doesn't match. We need a federal constitution that will take cognizance of all the federal parts, all the various regional parts, and I think work together.
You see, I also think that with all that is happening, something must give. The president, something must happen, because if everybody just keeps mute, then people will continue to agitate. When the presidency, something must give, and must compromise. Something must happen so that this whole agitation can stop and subside.
So,
okay, one more story.
So in Mina, that's Niger State, bandits reportedly killed 2 persons, and while they were trying to abduct 200 students from Islamia school located at Tengina town in Rafi local government area. It said they, stormed into the school. They were on bikes, and they got into the school straight up, went into the hostel, and they took their time to select the strong and able-bodied students, leaving the weak ones behind. Said about 200 of them, and they left. That particular school is very close to the police station. They had all the time in the world to carry out their attacks, carry these children, and left. And then the school is asking for help from the government, the state government, the federal government. Though the state government had given out like a report saying that they are aware that this...
And that they've mobilized.
They will mobilize. And also they are not sure of the number of students that have been kidnapped. We want help. This is becoming one too many. We just finished getting out.
We're talking about it
later. All right. So our former President Obasanjo was speaking in Ikorodu recently. I think it was yesterday, and he was saying that the solution to the insecurity in Nigeria is in our hands. Insecurity is a major problem because it does not help us domestically or grow our investments. We cannot progress under insecurity because it will limit the rate of investment. And the issue is an incurable optimist. And the issue of insecurity must be a collective decision and approach on the part of the people. It's not saying anything we don't already know, but it's just reiterating that we must do everything within our own space to support security in this country. Moving on now to Daily Trust. Gulak's assassination sparks outrage. I think we took that story already. 41% of family businesses will decline this year, says PricewaterhouseCoopers. 2023, Middle Belt Southern leaders asked APC to zone presidential ticket to South. We mentioned that already. Let's find a story we've not taken. Sit-at-home order. Fear, anxiety in Southeast. 12 killed in fresh Benue attack. And pro-Buhari rep suspended from APC. Okay, then I think we've taken most of the story. Yes.
This year's, I think they have an event about growth and sales in businesses in Nigeria. Says that most family business, 41% of such family business will decline in sales and growth this year. According to them, they did this survey on about 2,801 family businesses across its 7 territories, and this was their report at the end of the year.
Okay.
1% of family businesses going down means a lot to our economy.
That's hunger now. Hunger.
Nigerian Tribune. About 200 students kidnapped in Niger. Let's find a story we've not taken. 10 companies shut down businesses in Nigeria's food beverage industry in 5 years. Tension in Southeast over IPOB sit-at-home order. Amotekun to patrol Southwest borders. 12 killed in Benue. Newly built INEC office set ablaze in Imo. And reps suspend constitution review hearing in Imo and Enugu. Obviously.
So let me quickly just take the 10 companies shut down, in the business and industry, in the beverage industry. According to the president of the Food, Beverage and Tobacco Senior Staff Association, Mr. Comrade Quadri Olaleye, he decried that, about 10 companies are presently shut down and about 24 others are about to, they're going through their hardest times. He named the companies Bende Breweries Limited, Danico West Africa Limited, International Breweries Limited, Proud Breweries Limited, Port Harcourt Flour Mills, Square Foods Limited, Standard Biscuits and Agro Products, right. Just about 10 of them, and he's complaining simply because their staff are also members of this association that he heads. They've lost their jobs. People are, that hardship already. And according to him, he's just outraged that the government is not looking at the loss of jobs, loss of livelihoods, and that is not worrisome for government enough to intervene in that sector while industries are shutting down.
There are many things.
I completely agree with him. We can't have industry shutting down at this time. And now we focus on his politics and all sector in this country.
But there's a reason to focus on politics because the chairman for the INEC's National Commissioner and Chairman Information and Voters Education, Festus Okoye, has said that after this weekend, another INEC office was set ablaze in Imo State, bringing the number to 42 offices of INEC set ablaze. And this was actually a newly renovated office. He's saying that this would compromise our upcoming election, and it's not good for our democracy, that it will affect electoral activities and the credibility of our democratic process. These buildings and INEC infrastructure belong to all of us as Nigerians, and we should not allow ourselves to destroy our own things. So it's really sad.
Yeah, Amotekun quickly has said that they are going to carry out what they call interstate border patrol. They are going to be working that will enable them work in synergy with each other so that if a criminal is running away from this state, can be apprehended in the other states. They are also saying that they've realized that because they've started patrolling, the crisis between the farmers and herders have reduced. And now the herders understand that if they destroy any of the farmlands, they are made to pay something. They are made to compensate the farmers. And that the agreement is between them now, and so far so good. The tension in the states, the southwest states, have reduced, basically.
We have to run right now. Final paper this day. Tension in southeast as separatist agitators follow Boko Haram's tactics. And this paper is just saying that the separatist agitators in southeast are being championed by the IPOB, which the police and other security agencies have accused of waging a terror campaign in the southeast through its paramilitary organization, the Eastern Security Network. So, listen, that's all we can take on front page review. When we come back, we discuss our milestone 8 years anniversary. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So it's another milestone for Your View as we clocked 8 years on Saturday. We were super excited to grow with our audience. We appreciate all our fans for sticking with us through the years. We'd have loved to do a huge celebration, but in view of all that's happening in the country, it's just so difficult to celebrate. So we're celebrating in line with the tone and with the tone of the country at this time. So, but we'll be taking in anniversary greetings from our fans. You can call in on 081-270-53687. You can also call us on 091-390-76948. You can tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. We always love to share the story of how we started because at the beginning, you could hardly find a TV program that had all women. There was a mix. There's usually one guy here. And when we wanted to start the show, I remember Mr. Lemi was like, the first day I told Mr. Lemi about the show, that was our former managing director. In fact, he just said, no problem. Fantastic. He got it. He caught the vision on the first sentence. But every other person was like, what are they talking about? What exactly? They were calling us that. But because we had...
Like, we want to discuss kitchen matters, soup, and all of those things.
But because we had him standing solidly behind me, even regardless of all the naysayers, it won't work, they don't know anything about politics, I need all those women, who are they, what do they know? You know, but somehow he stuck by us. He just give them time. Then late RDJ came to train us on speaking, how he was what that started when callers calling. And I say, thanks for calling. What do I say? Wait, thanks for calling. You're live. Go ahead, please. He was one that told me that you have to tell the callers that they're live, so they know they're live. If not, they'll just think that they're still talking to the operator. You know, so little things like that. You know, he'll tell us to be nice. He tells us to take our spoon. We should never leave our teaspoon in the cups. You know, little things that we didn't pay attention to. But the late RDJ was there for us, and it's been 8 years, and we are continuing. Nothing is stopping us by God's special grace. We're still growing, and I'd like you ladies to say a few things before we take in our callers. Nima Akasha Zibiri, would you like to start?
Okay. You know me, I was late on just a little bit late.
So 2 years.
Yes. No, it was 6 months.
Really?
From the beginning.
After yes.
Yes, you started in 2013. I joined 2014 February.
Wow! Imagine that.
So it was just a few months. But I watched the very first episode. Myself and Gufran would sit at the TV while I'm working.
I think I got a message from your husband or something saying that his wife wanted to audition.
No, it wasn't my husband. I mailed directly.
No, okay. I know I got
maybe someone else had joined. Maybe someone else had sent you a mail. But I remember my mail came in when Lide was about to leave, and then you advertised. We were both watching that morning.
Yes.
I was saying, don't send any mail. I said, I would send a mail. I said, okay, let me read the mail. So I blind copied him on my mail. Right. So maybe you'd see it later. But I remember joining, and I loved the fact that women were talking serious. I used to have that kind of talk, and people wonder, you too forward with my dad, my Alaris. And I would continue talking like that, and nobody found interest in my kind of conversation. So I found a platform where those kind of conversations made sense, and I had that opportunity. I don't take it for granted ever. Yeah. I always say to my neighbors, I say, now, that noise I used to make, I get paid for making that noise. So talking politics is interesting, talking development is interesting, and the platform Your View gives is so amazing that, you know, the impact, you test it, you see it. I lived in a place where, if they didn't have a voice, I wonder what will happen there. There's still a lot of room for development, but I know the level of development I've seen, the things I've mentioned sitting on the show every day, that I see change.
Wow. Fantastic.
In fact, I must toilet to the present governor. Reason is because a lot of things that happened after he came into office that I didn't expect, because I didn't see him as someone responsive to anything that I would say. But gradually, you would see his presence. He will come in, quietly leave, and then you start to see changes. So I believe that continuously, things will turn out for the best, will get better. But you know, when you pass through Kirikiri Comfortable Road today, and I know just before the elections what it was like driving through that road as an alternative to Mautu. I'm telling you. Someone just has to say it. But it's the platform.
Yeah.
Yes, the platform is one that is listened to across the world.
Right.
And you can test it.
Yeah.
I've had calls from South Korea.
Yeah.
Someone will reach out to me and say, yeah, I'm watching your show. I have friends in Dubai watching. I have friends watching from some
remote
Peru. I got a call from
a friend of mine saw me on the show and referred her job in the UK with my name.
Wow.
And they just Googled it.
Are you serious?
And she said to me, Nima, your name is why I got my job. They just Googled you. I never got a call.
Nima has blown. Topsy tops.
I'm very grateful to God. You know, I was speaking in a Zoom mentoring session on Saturday, and I was talking about how I met Morayo, and somebody was like, divine orchestration. You know, divine orchestration. And sometimes people always just, I could just say it's God, but I left my house, you know, and I showed up. And many times I try to always draw, and I thank God for the platform because it has given me the ability to do what I know I'm called to do, which is to teach. And I have seen how many lives have been transformed by the little things we share in our banter, how we raise our children, how we deal with conflicts with our husbands, how we apologize and we don't apologize. Like every little thing we do, cutting my hair on the show, everybody saying they went natural because I went natural.
The whole of TVC went natural because you went natural.
Like it's the little things.
Yes.
And divine orchestration is good. We can all say there was grace because you can't deny it. Like it is very obvious. God wanted your view to happen, and God brought people in, some people out, some people in over the course of the past 8 years. Yet there's the part of efficiency and consistency and persistent work of everybody here. You know? So I bless God for the platform.
You know something I tell somebody. I said, I'm going to write a book on Tokwe Makoto because I saw the process. Yeah. I can write a whole book on your starting point. And I mean, I didn't know you before your view, but I could see the intention, how you actually intentionally wanted to grow from what you were. And I'm just waiting for when God finishes all the big work He's doing in life, I cannot have enough to write a whole novel because somebody needs to read you to know that it is possible. No matter where you are in life, it is possible, and I'm so grateful that.
And I also want to, because we're always known from this show, but being honest about our journey and our emotions and all of that. I think that many people don't understand the struggle of managing women and our differences. And I must always say that, you know, there's some things that Morayo will just hear and she will keep quiet. And I'm like,
very mature.
You know, like the ability to absorb, the ability to hear things and the Holy Spirit guiding us to keep quiet, the maturity, the emotional intelligence. One, if somebody else was the one moderating the show, would not still be here because somebody would have vexed and run away. But, you know, everything, there's a divine orchestration to how the show came about. And many people will try to replicate this, but it is not, you know, you can photocopy or easy. It would always be a photocopy. Chart your course. There would be stumbling blocks, but we're still here. And for that, I'm grateful to God.
There's a grace on Morayo that, you know, that tells you this is her vision and her calling. So it's beyond, I want to put women together to discuss politics and policies. It's more like this is what I have been called to do. Because the way you segue into all of the issues that come your way, how you handle, how your leadership style, sometimes when I sit back, I'm like, the thing is spinning me. Like, Morayo. I'll now tell myself, if not for the style that she has used for this situation, we may have scattered this whole thing. So it's beyond a platform. It's more like a vision.
That's your own story.
Yeah. So I would say I stumbled on your view because I knew there was a show, somebody had mentioned something, but I'd never watched. Yeah. And I remember the first time I came on the set, I was still doing my tour for my music, and I felt I was going to be interviewed for my songs. Yeah. And I finished the show that day, and my husband said, "They didn't even ask you anything about your music." And I'm like, I don't know. They gave me newspaper to read. And being someone who studied political science in school, I never was interested in politics. Like, it was something strange. See, that conversation you have, and people are saying you are talking, it's not my thing. Pure entertainment was my thing. But then, Your view has helped me to grow. Your view has put me in a position where I can sit and have very strong, intelligent conversations. And everybody's like, who is that babe? I'll say, I was made by your view. It's been a wonderful platform. But aside from it being a platform, it's more like a family. No matter what happens, and we all live here one day, and something happens, and we all have to grow into something else, we will always have a bond. We'll always have we'll always remember one another.
Let me take this call from Thank God. Thank God, are you there? We're thanking God today, so we're happy you're the first caller.
I'm with you.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
I'm happy. I congratulate you once again.
Thank you, sir.
For your 8th years anniversary. I'm happy to be live here today. I've been trying to come to thank you and to appreciate your good work.
Thank you, sir.
I think this is one of the best programs that I enjoy on television.
Thank you, sir.
Keep it up.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I cannot but also remember that this show started with different kinds of women.
Yes.
You know, we had some amazing women. We had Laide, who was a fantastic. We had Uwa, Osayume Saleh. We had Jumoke Alaweje Jones. Even till today, people ask, how is Jumoke? How is Jumoke? These are people that, and Sandra Eze, yes. So these are people that you said that divinely were appointed at the time. They came. God gave us the grace to bring these people together, and they were quite impactful. Yes, they had to move on for various reasons, but I am even glad that each of them are doing great in their various works. You see, no matter how great they become, I can always say, yes, we were part of that.
Yes.
They passed through your view. So their success is our success in any way. So I'm grateful to God that Jumoke passed through here. I'm grateful that Uwa passed through here. I'm grateful that Sanzi passed through here. I'm grateful that Laide passed through here. These are people that we are proud of where they are today. And I'm thankful to God. We're going to take in more calls and some tweets. Let me take this call. Good morning. Are you there? Oh, I think we're going on a quick break. When we come back, we'll now take that call. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we're still celebrating Your View at 8 years. What were some of the most memorable moments you would say? Let me start with Nima on your show.
Memorable relationships. So aside making friends and having a sisterly bond, we had our moments of, mistakes and errors. But I remember feedbacks from RDJ when I just joined. And, when I joined, I sort of got a lot of other things clogging my growth. I just felt I withdrew into my shell. And every day when I'm going to say, hey, let me see you, Nima. That's not who we auditioned. Where are you? I'm trying to look for the lady that came for audition. I'll be looking at him like, what is he saying? Well, I didn't know until one time he gave me the feedback on, I said, I have a video of you. I have a picture of you. I need you to be that person on the show. I have stage fright. To date, I still have a problem. If my camera's light goes red on my face, I'm going to look somewhere else. So at least I opened up and he helped me. And I like the messages from Mr. Lemmy. Whenever I goof on the show or I say something nice on the show, I get that feedback. Those were things that I valued beyond understanding. When I'm going to, I keep going back to reading them and saying, you can do better. I'm someone that I don't sit and, talk about the things I do. I want to have a private family life as opposed to TV. And I'm struggling between separating both. And when somebody spots it and is assisting me, it's valuable for me.
Great.
So memorable interviews for me was the first time, imagine small me, interview a sitting governor in Lagos State at the time. I remember my blue jacket. BRF. At the time. My blue jacket, I still remember that jacket. And when he approached me, my fear was, if he extends his hand and I say, no, I'm not shaking hands, will he be rude? And the gentleman that he is, he just took a bow. After shaking everybody, he got to me and he took a bow. It's rare to find such a, somebody that understands. Let me take this quick call.
Paula, are you there? Thanks for calling.
Yes, I'm on.
Yes, you're live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, thank you very much. Actually, it was this your view I made to know of TVC station. And I really so much appreciate you people. I love the way, especially Auntie Morayo, things that are able to get to see you from since your birthday. Morayo. Salam alaikum. Auntie Papa, I love your struggle. I will contact you one day. Auntie Pixie, the life in the house. And I guess that Miriam is on break. Yeah. And our grandma at 60. In fact, because of her, you know, all those are stiletto shoes. I dropped my mind.
We will steal it together.
Thank you very much. God bless you. I've learned a lot from you.
Thank you so much. God bless you. High points, Tokwe.
Memorable interviews. We've interviewed several governors now, but the first was BRF. While he was serving, then we interviewed Governor Ambode before he became governor, after he became governor. Then we went to the State House. Like, that was... It was a bit...
To interview who?
To interview the First Lady,
Aisha
Buhari. We interviewed Aisha Buhari, and, you know, it was interesting to see a different perspective of someone at that level.
Do you remember that?
Yes, behind the scenes. What you see is not what happened.
She's a totally different person.
The ADC was like, I was looking at her with really firm face. Like,
she said they are warning me.
Say a word.
Yes, and she said so.
She said they are warning me. They don't want me to be myself.
They don't want me to talk. That woman, I can never forget that one's face. She was staring at the First Lady and see if Toba saw Mama.
And it gave me a different perspective. You know, a different perspective of how I see people in political power, because they're not really. Sometimes some of the things they say are not what they want to say, and some of the things are outside their control. They really want to help. Like all those private meetings we have with BRF where it would break down. CEO, you're not seeing this perspective of what's going on. That was very important. Then there was some mind-blowing platform that, like, some things that we just mentioned on the show, and then somebody would just say, I want to help that person. Like when we did the Okada driver that refunded money, and then somebody called and said, I want to appreciate that person, and then they send money. Or BC would mention, I want to help teachers, and somebody would call and say, tell me BC said account number. I want to sponsor a few teachers. You know, that little thing.
The blue-eyed lady, the Quara lady. Yeah. First lady. Because we discussed her here that the First Lady reached out and, you know, assisted her family.
Let me take Tonya from Sokoto. Hello, are you there?
Yeah, hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, you're live. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Auntie Morayo. I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. I've been following your show for like 4 years now.
Wow.
And the show has been keeping me going, especially my period of pregnancy, you know, this morning sickness. That's what actually led me to the show. I've never known about it, but when I just got pregnant, early in the morning, I'll just leave the TV on. And I'll just feel like women talking, you know, I just got interested. And one thing that always makes me happy about the show is when you hear one person's view, you think you've heard all. The next person you're going to hear something very, very different and something captivating. When you hear the third person, it just blows your mind. Like, wow, I love you, Morayo. I love my sister.
Thank you very much.
We love you too.
So we have a lot of tweets.
Yes, go ahead.
You
can take it, then we'll come to BC. Well, go ahead. You have tweets.
Okay, Patience. Someone says, I celebrate with you guys. You are the best. Ever since I bumped into the show, I barely can do anything without viewing it daily. You guys are real. I love the way you analyze issues. No taking sides, just being objective. God bless you and increase you more wins. Biliki is one of our very constant, tweet fan. Biliki Morenikel Ladi Dimafe says, congratulations, I didn't start with you, but when I discovered your view, it's been a thrill joining you every day for the week. I always look forward to your brilliant insights and discussions. Keep up the fantastic work. Love you all, ladies.
Actually, high points.
High points for me was several. So we've had very interesting conversations with the former governor of Lagos State, Fashola. And, you know, I've also remembered the time Obi Ezekwesili was on the show. She's a woman that we admire. You know, sometimes we have women we love here and we celebrate them, women that are doing amazing. And another thing that, you know, gets to me is the fact that when we discuss issues here, I realize that the government is listening. So I don't know exactly who is watching, whether it's the president that is watching or the governors. But I know that the next day, they will come to the papers to respond to us. Yeah. And we had, you know, some newspaper houses that will omit our names before. And I'm like, this conversation was from your view. This person said this. Till we got upset with some of them.
Recently.
Removed their, yes.
We talked about
so they respond, so they watch the show, they listen to us, and then they respond. And for those things that they can easily change, we see that they actually effect that change.
Yes.
And, it's been a wonderful platform to know that you speak and people in leadership hear you and they respond to you. And also, there was a time I met, we were coming out of, I think it was your birthday celebration, and we bumped into Babil. And he said, "Oh, the Ajulu," and I was like, apparently he watches the show and he knows everybody. So the platform has actually been quite
huge. You got into the show?
He promised he was going to come. He ran away. He didn't come.
I have Neka. Neka, are you there?
Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
I want to congratulate you, especially Morayo. You are a rare breed.
Yes.
To us in general. Your program has really impacted positively to us. I'm an ardent viewer of your program.
Wow.
I love you guys. You people are doing a great job.
Thank you.
My love goes to Zubri Kashat. She's my kind of woman. I love her vocal, her bluntness. I love you, darling.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Morayo.
Thank you very much. Let's take a few tweets as we wrap up.
Okay. Olajumoke Ajayi says, happy anniversary. I never miss the show. It's part of my weekday routine. Once I finish watching the show, I would then go and do other things. I love you all. You're real. I love Morayo. She's an inspiration. I love you all again.
Omo Lareni says, congratulations, ladies. You make me a better person in my marriage. And I really want to talk about that because the impact, I cannot count how many people tweet messages, talk about how when we discuss marital issues, our advice reforms what's going on. Some people call their husbands, come and sit down and listen. And some call their wives and play it again. That can you hear what they are saying they do and what you should do? And that's huge. Some people, their career path has changed because of what we mentioned on the show. They become more focused. They become more spiritual.
Okay, let me remind our viewers, because when this thing started, my first conversation with this show was, aside from Mr. Lemmy, is our producer, which I'm going to acknowledge all our producers very soon. Mr. Lukman Musa was the beginning. He was our first producer. He and a young lady called Fumi. I can't remember. Ejefe, yes. Ejefe. And we sat down together. I think Yinka, Ajija Didun, we're all sitting down trying to put this together. And it was very clear what I wanted to do. I didn't want professionals. I didn't want journalists. It was very clear. I wanted regular women who had an opinion, who to come on television and show Nigerians that women have a view on social issues, political issues, governance, and moral values and all that. So we wanted to show that we have a voice. And we've done that because people judge us, that thing you did. So listen, we are women.
That's why
that's what we're here for. It's been 8 years. And we didn't start perfect. We've grown and we'll continue to grow. But the idea is that we must show Nigerians, a lot of leaders watch our show and they have a sense of what women are thinking. Reality, what people are thinking.
The pulse of the people.
They get a pulse of what Nigerians are feeling. So I'm really grateful for that opportunity. But I must acknowledge our producers. I mean, as I said, they cannot be your show with your view without the producers.
Yeah.
Yes. They have an amazing team of production
over the years.
They put things together in which, as I said, we started with Mr. Musa, who was supervising producer.
You want to try
he sat down.
Mr.
Musa that created paper review. I didn't think of paper review. He said, Morayo, let's put paper review. He insisted we put, I didn't want to, I was wondering, what are we going to talk about? FEC. Hot topic, I think it was Fumi that said we should call it hot topic. People, they forced me, the logo we had.
Yes.
They forced me to a standstill. And then when I put my foot down, this is going to be the logo, whether I like it or not. But it was a great team of people that started this show, and I have to acknowledge them. And today we have Dolapo Maradesa.
But then we had BC too. Let's mention
we had
Adebisi. What's her name?
Adebisi Taiwo. And then we had MM came on the show.
MM of Wake Up.
MM that you see on Wake Up that looks very good. That guy was a very firm producer. I say tough.
MM is a fantastic producer.
She was a tough producer. She was a great producer. Yeah. MM as MM. Her story is for another day. She would listen to us, would share our thoughts, and she said, I heard you.
But this is what we're doing.
I'll get back to you. It's a firm face. I'm a boss. I've heard you. I'll get back to you. And you realize that?
I can imagine.
Yeah, but so
now
she's
we
a
have
good producer. Now we have Bola Komara Desa, we have Bolaji, Ogoli, we have Bumi. Omokewa. We have Okwe Jobi. We have Mr. Kola. Show. We have, who else? We have directors. We have Bukola. We have quite a number of them. The show can never be without you guys. We love you. Thank you so much for what you do.
Thank you.
God bless you.
God bless all of you.
So we need to wrap up, but I'm told that we have a lot of calls. So maybe we can open the phone lines to say, let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll take the calls. And then we wrap up because we have to snap back to reality.
Yes, sir.
We just kidnapped 200 children. So let us celebrate a little and then go to reality. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we are still celebrating. I want to hear from our viewers. But very soon we'll be wrapping up on this. But let me just hear from Tolu from Okota. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
Thanks. You're live. Go ahead, please.
Auntie Morayo, Auntie Miriam, Auntie Choke, Auntie BC, thank you so much. I'm a diehard fan. My husband introduced me to your view before I got married. That was last year. And he was just a regular follower. But every day ever since. In fact, I watch from YouTube, but I can still go back. But I set alarm for 9 o'clock so I don't see it. I must say that your view has really changed my perspective to life.
Thank you.
I'm a very young lady, and I can say that when I sit in the midst of people, your opinions have really shaped how I relate with people. And I must say I'm really grateful for your modesty, for your originality, for being vulnerable. You show to us that we can go to any extent. We are unlimited as ladies. And I must say that you ladies have set standards for us that it's so easy to take the path.
Thank you so much. All right.
I wanted to give straight feedback. So, you know, when I joined, it was abnormal to find someone fully covered like this. Yeah. Even when I was coming for audition, I knew that if they don't take me, I'll just be going no more, you know. People had this mindset that a Muslim cannot be on a show like this. So thank you for having that idea, because that idea sealed it. I remember at some point I was thinking, this stuff is too much, my journey to work and everything. I was at that place where I just thought, I'll just go. And so I went to the Oriental for a very big Islamic event at the Oriental, and one elderly man just called me out of the crowd. It's you. I know you, because my disguise is usually not to wear makeup and cover fully to my eyebrow. And I said, it's you, it's Nima. You know Nima. I said, I want to leave the show, Abi. No, I am not. He said, don't try it. You know what your impact is, how it has inspired lives and touched lives. And it was a big Islamic event. I don't want to mention, it was the event of all events for Muslims. And that feedback for me, it was like, I just kept getting that feedback around the event. Anytime she's the one, you know. And people kept saying, don't even try it. Because for them, it was too huge.
An opportunity.
Having one, even if, you know, one at least on such a show of that magnitude. And I don't take it for granted also. I must say, I always say it. I rarely would believe, and I don't think it will happen in a hurry. It will be someone who will see the impact and later maybe think it's a good idea. But for someone to sit out of the blue and make an idea of having a Muslim on the show, it's a huge one.
Thank you very much. Let me take this call and I'll come to that. Yakub, are you there? Yakub, we have to thank you. Yakub, he's been on. We are praying for one day where we'll have a party and Yakub will be the chairman.
I'm there. I'm much around. I'm there. I don't have much to say rather than say that I really give thanks to God Almighty Allah, because I could boast that we started this program together.
Yes, so
I don't think I've ever missed one day. Why? Because there's a time I called to the program. You asked me that day, where have you been? I said that I traveled out of Lagos, and then you told me that day that I can even watch you people on phone. Since that day, and download TCC on mobile app. Everywhere I go with your feel. One thing about this program is this. Some people don't know this. This program has touched a lot of lives. A lot of lives. Morayo, you don't know what you are doing now. You don't know. In fact, I've been imagining now. When this program on live will disclose 50 years on program on live. 50 years. In fact, that time, all of us, I pray to God Almighty Allah, all of us live to witness that very particular time, so that we'll be able to tell our story. If you don't mind, quickly, I will just take your instructions to pray for you people in Arabic, and then I'm very sure my sister Nima will translate it in Yoruba or English to you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma rabbana atina fid dunya hasanatan. وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. Thank you. Good morning. God bless you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It's just blessed us with all the goodness of the world and the goodness of the hereafter.
We have to wrap up, but let me say 3 things. First, bringing you on was intentional because when we started the show, every small thing on Monday morning, oh, church was great. Pastor preached like this. Pastor preached like that. I'm thinking, we're not a few of Christians now. I mean, it was good for you to share your church stories. But at the same time, I didn't want to stop you from sharing your Christian stories. But I knew that we needed a Muslim because we can't just all be Christians on the show. So it was a very deliberate. That time when we went for auditions, we're specifically looking for Muslims. And even when we're auditioning, I was specifically looking for somebody who wasn't just a Muslim, a liberal Muslim, but a strong Muslim who believed in her faith, who was very confident in her faith. And that's why we brought you on. So there were other Muslims who were just great, but we wanted somebody who knew the religion and who could defend the religion so that we don't just look like a Christian platform. That was key. Secondly, because as I wrap up, I tell people that one of my greatest desires is to be able to hand over this show to the next generation. So I'm first of all happy that there are lots of people replicating this. It's a good thing. For me, it's a good thing. Like people are replicating the show. I am happy. I believe it's part of our success. Yes. That more shows are coming out like this. It's a great thing. Yes. And more young people are going to come. So we hope in future, after we are done, because, okay, guys, I'm handing over. I'm looking at you, as I am right here. I don't want to say I'm scouting, but I pay attention to young people around me. Those who I feel that, okay, this looks like somebody who is level-headed that can handle. Because I'm getting to that age where, okay, you must be able to get to the next gen. So definitely there are the succession plans that we must have, and we don't plan to be here forever. So definitely would love to handle, because I like to sit down in my house, watch TV and see young people and just handing over and taking over. And that's my desire, and that's our long-term goal. Finally, as we wrap up, I have to thank the management of TVC. Your view will be nothing without, we have our director, Olarin Olukunle. He's an amazing leader. He's been able to, he pays attention to the show, and he always calls me, Morel, this is the direction, this is what I do. And he calls us when we have when we goof. He calls us, you know, and he's been a great leader. Mr. Andrew Halon, you see, I need to write another book on Andrew, because aside from Mr. Lemmy, who was there from the beginning and still is there today, Andrew pushes me. He was the one that made me wake up to understand the impact and the leadership that I had. I never saw it like that way. He brought that out on me. He took me like, Morayo, you're leading this team. You got to see that, you know. And I'm like, I did not know. I don't know. So he was a great impact on my growth, and the entire management of TVC. Thank you so much for the support. That was consistent. Thank you, all the team members. I don't want to start mentioning names now because I'll forget somebody. But those are the key people right now. But we're grateful to God. We're going to go on a break now. Any final words, ladies?
We also have a traditionalist, so it's not just a Muslim, Christian traditionalist.
Yes, YK and our creator. Also, we appreciate YK for being real. We wanted YK because Mr. Musa was specific about this. I mean, I wanted different ages. I wanted different women. I wanted women from different spheres of life. So we had auditioned, we wanted two people, Auntie Taiwo Adejumo and YK. The two that we wanted. Elderly. Both of them actually were on the show. But I think Auntie Taiwo had to move on to do other things. So YK was the only other person that we had. So it was great to have older people in the mix too. Always bring us back to, you know, balance.
YK that doesn't want to be older. YK is young, Jerry.
Okay, I think I have one more final call. Samuel, are you there?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, you're live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, happy anniversary to you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
It's a very beautiful program, and I'm an unrepentant follower.
Thank you.
So please keep it up. You ladies are not just beautiful, but you have beautiful brains.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
That is one thing I appreciate in all of you. Please keep it up. And you are an influencer. You have influenced lives, millions of lives. And please keep touching lives positively.
Thank you, sir.
And we will keep supporting you.
Thank you very much. On that note, I think that's all we can take on this. When we come back, reality check. 200 kids were just abducted in Niger State. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So it's been 22 years of unbroken civil rule in Nigeria. And many of us have celebrated the fact that we're under the democratic dispensation. In reviewing how the 22 years have been in this time, we would like to start with the issue of insecurity, move on to topics on economy, governance, infrastructure, education, health, and other sectors. We'd like to hear your thoughts on this, on what are your general leanings as regards how Nigeria has fared in the last 22 years. But obviously, we're going to start with the most breaking news on insecurity, which is the 200 students, pupils of Niger State School that were abducted. It was an Islamic school, I believe, that were abducted over the weekend. And we also remember that very recently, the Greenfield students who had been abducted, and then we're told they've been released. Some were saying, allegedly, about 180 million was paid. That's what some of the parents were alleging. But under 24 hours of that celebration, another 200 pupils were taken. And this is heartbreaking, not just for the parents, but for the nation at large. And as we review how our democracy has run, do you feel that we know exactly where we're heading? I mean, sometimes some of us get really confused. Where is this nation heading? Do we really have the leaders, visionary leaders, to take us to where we desire? Many groups are calling for secession. Others are saying self-determination. Some are saying restructuring. They've called it different names. But what are your general thoughts on this? Please call us on 081-270-53687. You can call us on 091-390-76948. You can also tweet us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. When you heard about the abduction, what thought came to your mind? I can almost predict what you're going to say, but what came to mind? Do you want to talk about?
Morayo, before talking about adoption, of course, my heart broke, like not again. But the first question you asked, because we're celebrating 22 years, quote unquote, the word celebration. What are we celebrating? That we've had democracy for 22 years and we've managed to keep it together. The biggest challenge that this country has suffered, despite being ruled under the guise of democracy, is that we've not had a vision. We've not had a goal of this is the country this is where we are heading towards. This is what we want to achieve as a nation. And as long as there's no vision, you cannot have any achievements. There will be perishing, which is what the Bible says, that if there's no vision, people will perish. What we are seeing is the perishing across different sectors, the perishing across the country, because there's no vision bringing us together, and there's no vision bringing our hope up, that we can bring our hope towards. So 22 years celebration is not celebration right now, not especially after we heard that 200 children have been kidnapped in Niger State again. And it just shows that the insecurity challenges that we're paying lip service to is coming, like we're not doing anything. And yet we keep saying that we're doing something. The spokesperson for the president, Gabashew, said that the security challenges of Nigeria has improved as compared to 2015. And I'm wondering, based on what parameters? Because I read it, like, what's the parameter you're using to gauge your success so far? Because we have children being kidnapped day in, day out. Somebody was shot in daylight just 2 days ago, and we are saying that we have improved. I mean, if we don't face the reality of the challenges we're facing, we cannot improve. If we don't acknowledge that we have failed in some areas, we cannot regroup and replan towards success. So the first step is, let us agree this country, there's a lot of things that are not working, and then we cast a vision for the future and write a new constitution to back it up.
Yeah, for me, 22 years of civil rule without a continuum is like taking 1 step forward and 5 steps backwards. We've had administrations over the years that come in, and the first thing they want to do is to upturn all of the policies that the past administration had put in place, even if it's working or not. They don't just want to pay attention. They want to be known to be the one that started this. We can't keep starting without finishing. We can't keep starting without completing. We can't keep starting without maintaining. So we have that problem of lack of continuum that, you know, just goes all the way down to every administration that keeps coming. And we can't keep, you know, it's like an organization that has a new head every tenure. And you come and you scatter everything that, you know, that organization has started achieving because you want your name to be, I am the first person that started it. I think we need to look at everything holistically. Like Tope said, we need to have a Nigerian vision. I have a problem with us trying to solve all the problems of Nigeria at the same time. You're doing small in education. You're doing small in agriculture. You're doing small in this one and all of that. Can we say for the next 4 years, we're going to pick 2 things that we want to work on? Is it infrastructure we're going to do? And we're going to state out all the things we're going to be building. We're going to have accountability projects, people that will hold us accountable, people that will follow through and see that this. So we are checking. We have everything stated out, and we are checking as we complete each project so that we know that for this administration, we have succeeded in stabilizing this, and then we move on to the next segment.
You see, I hear you, and I think what you're saying is what a lot of Nigerians would like to say. But based on what Chief Edwin Clark said in the papers, you see, the constitution we have is not working.
Exactly.
So this body called Nigeria is not going to be functional based on this constitution, because many of the states cannot even generate revenue based on the resources they have. Because we have a constitution that says, oh, this one is exclusive list, that one is exclusive list. So they are handicapped to do and generate the kind of revenue, because you were talking earlier that we don't have electricity. But the truth is that we still have that electricity on the exclusive list. So the states are begging. They allow us
to handle
this. There's a cap they have right now. So there are little things that this constitution has caged almost all the states in being productive and generating their own internal capacity. So what Chief Edwin Clark and many others are saying in the Southern Part, listen, let us renegotiate. This democracy, we have just been panel beating it for the past 22 years.
Bandages.
Let us properly have a conversation so that everybody can become independent. And that thing you are saying, that let us
and then we do a constitution that will support that vision. We all agree to the vision. No?
So how did you even arrive at a failed constitution? Because people come out all the time to talk, and these people have been at one point in their lives in leadership. We made our institutions fail. Democracy without a proper houses of assemblies and the National Assembly is no democracy at all. And then there's no rule of law. How many court orders would these same people obey? When it comes to you, you're a big man, you go and cut corners. When it comes to the ordinary man, you expect the rule of law to have effect at that time. So we brought ourselves here. I don't believe that constitution is a totally failed document. I think Nigerians are the people who fail at every point in time to do the right thing. You have houses of assembly, see a clear case of gross misconduct, and they turn the back.
Yes,
back
the other way.
You see a video of money entering the cap.
They willingly, because of what they're eating, keep quiet. And these people are Nigerians. Is it the document that brought us here? We have laws. Nigeria is not for lack of laws that we are here. It is not for lack of laws. It is for lack of the will to do the right thing when it comes to one of us, each of us, not talk of the entire leadership. And we want to sit down and call the former president, Jonathan, we want to call the president Buhari. Who are his allies who will not let him be? Who, when you get into office, who are those who will call you and say, it's my turn?
All right, let me take this.
Chief Edwin Clark has been, a strong member in the Niger Delta. How developed is the Niger Delta, even with him as a leader? So most of these people, don't call yourself my leader. That's what I just think. Per region, do your own thing, because it's about you.
It's easy to point the fingers.
Yes, we have good documents. The NEDC was created to solve a problem, but it's got into the pockets of all the elders and people who call themselves stakeholders in that country. So people have become rich, while the people whose rights were being fought for have become poorer than they even were.
Let me take this call from Hassan. Hassan, are you there? Hassan is under call us. Hello, Hassan. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. And
morning.
Good morning, chairperson. Happy anniversary.
Thank you, sir.
You anchored very well all this while.
Thank you, sir.
I wish to congratulate you for that. You and Yenny for your maturity. You anchored well, and may God continue to guide all of you.
Amen. Amen.
It's a very good program. It gives us an inroad to know how the other side felt, and so that we can be on the same track. Before, we have this notion that men are always correct. Men need to listen to the other side so that there will be peace and harmony in the society.
Thank you, Mr. Hassan.
about democracy.
Yeah.
About democracy. There is nothing wrong with democracy. There is nothing wrong with federal government. What is wrong is with the human resource. Even the structure we are talking about, where are the human resources to maintain that structure we are clamoring for? Where are the people like Kaduna? Where are the people like this, which is center of purpose to work the talk for us? When you restructure, you have the regions. When you restructure, some of the problem with restructuring is that no any unity of purpose. Everybody has its own agenda. And can we take them all? Are we even sure there will be no restructuring after restructuring? The answer is no. People that are calling for devolution of power to the state, we are sitting comfortably in Lagos and Abuja. Do you know what is going on in the state? You don't know. The state governors are not doing anything. Go to the state, ask the workers, ask the teachers, ask everything. They are not doing anything. When you take it to the state, you will end up coming back to square one. So let us sit down. If you have problem with Mr. President, talk to Mr. President. We don't like this, we don't like that. Talk to him.
All right.
Because a lot of things we are talking about is of executive order.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Hassan. Let me go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll take more phone calls and tweets. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing 22 years of democracy. BC, you're going to say something?
Yes. So, you know, they just reminded us now that it hasn't been all bad. And the truth is, some of the things I've seen in this past, 22 years of civil rule is the fact that we are not at the place where we want to be, but there's progress, no matter how little it is. And one of the progress I want to talk about is agriculture. The administration has tried to, see how they can get a lot of people involved in farming. And we realize that people are now becoming aware that we can actually eat our own produce. And it's moving, especially when it comes to rice and all of that. But I would also, appeal that aside from the normal farming where you just go straight and get the produce, we can also start looking into manufacturing, building several chains of, because there's a huge, processing. There's a huge market when it comes to processing. Most of the things we see that we buy from outside the countries, because they will come and get the raw materials here and then produce and sell back to us. So let's find a way, let the government find a way to help businesses to go into processing. So we're not just producing the raw materials, but we're also developing it and developing that value chain.
So we've gained agriculture-wise, like you mentioned, because it was deliberate that, they interfered. They are doing rice pyramid now in Ekiti State.
Yes.
The Anchor Borers program started from the last initial administration. It was deliberate to empower, help us diversify. But for factors that I call human factors feel like this. So when the funds come out, some people politicize. They sort of just defeat the purpose from the beginning with that purpose. So at the end of the day, we only see small gains. We will see large gains when all of us deliberately change our ways and, you know, we focus on growing these sectors. But we also watch our industries pack up. And that, for me, is one loss that is beyond many. We complained that COVID came. But we saw our industries pack up. When we can do, you know, what they call a bailout and save our industries, because we'll save employment, and labor will not be this agitated by now, we let this go. Some of those things, and when we come and sit down here, nobody will even talk security. It's another deliberate human factor thing, Morayo, just a minute. Because when a high-profile person's life is attempted, you find the people who they move. But when they kidnap just 200 children, they pay ransom and everything just dies down. I want to follow up the kind we had in Lagos. During Nambode, when the attempt at Festac waterside robbery, bank robbery happened, the one in Badagry, the one in Ikorodu happened. They found those guys. They found them somewhere in Delta State. Yes. Let them be followed up. Let us have results. Let's see action.
Let me take this call from Peter. Peter, are you there?
Yeah, good morning.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I'm a person.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you. I actually want to contribute to the topic. The 22 years of unbroken state civil rule, seriously, to me, we have not enjoyed democracy in Nigeria, in my opinion, especially as regards the insecurity in the country now. So I think the best solution for us is to restructure this country. Let each region control its resources. Because I think some regions are feeling cheated. That's why there is insecurity in this country. So if we can restructure this country, let each region control its resources, then it will be restored back.
Thank you very much, Peter.
So I'll do one low and one high point. One of the high points, let me start with the positive, is that we've had democracy, and we've had democracy in terms of from one party to the other. Because at the point, it was looking like it could only be one party. You cannot unseat an incumbent. And we've had it happen in the states. We've had it happen on the federal level. We've had it happen within small localities where it moved from APC to PDP. We might say, oh, it's just between two parties. But at least we've had one person take over from another person, and it was a peaceful process to a large extent. But on the other side is that we've not had equity. And that's why there's a lot of agitation. Yes. Because many people feel like we're not represented, our voice isn't heard. The color of the administration day in, day out does not reflect who we are. None of our people have gotten a representation at that elms of affair. And so we have democracy, but we don't have equity. It now looks like we don't have democracy, but we do have democracy. We just need to make it more equitably shared amongst all the constituents of the Federation.
Let me take this call from Freeman. Freeman, are you there? Thanks for calling. Hello, Freeman.
Yes, I'm with you.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Morayo. Thank you for this august opportunity. Yes, I want to congratulate you guys.
Thank you.
Job well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Quickly, I have two issues to discuss. You know why others are celebrating you, applauding you? There are some flaws I need you people to attend to on this show.
Okay.
Please. I have been trying to reach you guys since 2017.
Wow.
Yes. And I observe there are some individuals you give preference to, and which is not fair.
Like who?
You always give it. Yakub, to be specific, calls you on every show, and you pick his call. There is this Okorafor. There is this Dominic. There is this Aisha from Plateau. This thing goes up to Uncle Yori's show. These guys call you on daily basis, and you pick their call. Are they better than us? I'm not saying you should not pick. But there's no way an individual will be trying to reach you since 2017. This is a show I watch on daily basis. I've initiated my wife into it.
Wow.
But it's painful.
Thank you.
That you want to air your view. It's called your view, not Yakub's view.
Yes.
I'm not against him, sorry. I'm being specific.
Right.
Tell your producer they should work on it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for the feedback. Thank you.
Now, so let me talk about Yakub. So There was a time we actually had to call Yakub. Yakub, how come you make this call? You make it to the show. He says he has about 5 phones or 6 phones. He tells everybody, start dialing. Anyone that goes through. So that's what Yakub does. He had a technique. The other people, it's not like a phone line that sees your name. No, it doesn't. It's a system. So your number goes through the system and they pick up. So it's not like we can see the numbers. It's just the system picks it up. The operator picks up and then connects to me. So I'm not the one picking up. It's not my decision to pick up. So it just so happens that Yakub has multiple phones. In fact, that's why we need to bring him to come and teach us the strategy. Yes. Because people are complaining that how come Yakub gets through. But he has multiple phones.
Reverend Dominic has not been...
yes, Reverend Dominic calls
Mr. Folari's He's just been lucky. When he used to call the show regularly, it was just a bit of lucky. I need to... there was a year we focused on the regular callers and why. Yes. So maybe tweets will get us to your message as quickly as possible. Sometimes we take our Facebook message, but we must acknowledge our Facebook Live viewers. Yes. Because when I was sending comments. When I was on isolation with COVID, my watching mechanism was on Facebook Live. And I noticed that before the show, you don't see people waiting, sharing their watching, telling people to come and view with them. So we have a lot of followers that we've not been fed when it comes to call, but it's not because we can help it. Yes. It's not deliberate.
Let me take Mike from Paris. Morning, Mike. Are you there?
Yeah, good morning.
You're live. Good morning. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. I just want to congratulate you for
Thank you, sir.
The program. I thank you, all of you, the ladies, who have been handling this program. And I would like to say that since in 2019, when I came to join you, I've been very, very proud of you.
Thank you.
And I've been following you every day. I enjoy all the topics. I also enjoy the way you are educating the people on every issue. And I was really sorry for you people last time during the SARS, protest. I really felt for you because I could see how, how people were struggling to get out of your building. And we are also praying for you, also from Paris here. So we thank God that everything ended up well. And today we are celebrating you once again. So we just want to say that keep it on, continue to educate people, and don't be afraid to handle issues, no matter how delicate they are, but things that can be able to make our country to move forward. We are very, very proud of you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. And God bless you.
Thank you so much. So one of the gains, because our producer is saying we shouldn't all make it look all bad. So one of the gains, I must say, is the freedom of speech is democracy. Because the truth, the truth is that during our parents' time, when my father, Ganifa Emi, my father and Beko and Sokuti, they used to be jailed for speaking up. Yes. They were thrown in Kirikiri, in Panti, because they spoke up. These were lawyers, advocates, and activists, even reporters, journalists. Quite a number of them. Some were killed, some were abducted, and So during that period, you can't speak. During the military regime. But right now, in the democracy, we're able to speak. Yes, would have somewhat is not as free as we would like it to be, like the Western world. But at least you can speak. You know many times we've had government here. And nothing happened to us. People will think that I'm right. That thing you said, are you sure that SSS is not outside?
My husband said, you just be calling Attorney General, you be loyal. But we have that freedom. I know for a fact that the DSS has us profiled. They know us. Because one day I silly parked my car in front of somebody called my first name. So they know us. Yes, they do. And I went in, and the moment I wanted to come into that meeting because of Satellite Town Forum, I was stopped. And then before the satellite said that she's a stakeholder before they allowed. So we know. But they still allow us to do our job every day of calling them together. We do that every day.
Interesting. The ADC for the president, he called my name. I saw him at, I think, was it June 12th, sometime last year or 2 years ago, where Honorable Abikadabri had invited me to be one of the hosts of, I can't remember what we were doing, to be a celebration we were doing. I can't remember what it was. It wasn't. So I was where the president was. The ADC called me by my name.
You went to Abuja at that time. Let's even talk about some games, because you mentioned Madam Abike Dabiri now. I remember 2 people returned from Libya because
you raised the issue.
Because I called her, and because of this platform, those 2 people sent me DMs that their family members were stranded in Libya at the time when Nigeria was rescuing people. Not only did they bring them back, they sort of resettled them and tried to counsel them. And I found out why one of them foolishly left. You know, he sold his business to try to live. Wow. And this dream of going out, I just killed it immediately, that this country will work for us. Then we know,
and there are many ministries that have been set up.
We call the Ministry for Works. In fact, when the present Minister for Works was Minister for Power as well, the amendment of the Constitution removed power from the exclusive list to the concurrent list. States can now, you know, generate and find ways to do it. And Lagos State, because when he was governor, had attempted it, Lagos State and other states can go into it. We have some states in the north, I think Gombe, and some other states who now generate their own power using solar. So we've had developments like that. And also I know for a fact that the Oshodi Expressway, what it is now.
Yes, there was major transformation.
It's still under construction, but you know.
Let me take this call.
Lagos Ibadan Expressway.
Good morning, buddy. Are you there? Thanks for calling.
Good morning.
You're live. Go ahead, please. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. It's a very beautiful one. I've always loved to also watch. While commending you, Nima, Auntie, and everybody, I also wish to quickly take opportunity to air an opinion I've always had. And your performance over the years has kind of reinforced that feeling. And that is, I believe sincerely that women have such tremendous capacity to impact societies and to help shape and build the kind of societies we all desire because of their intrinsic values, because of their capacity to multitask, because of their naturally higher intelligence quotient, and their resilience. You know, men make the mistake of thinking that we're stronger because we are physically endowed. It's the height of stupidity. Women are far more intelligent. And I think it's deliberate on God's part. But my issue is this. Women over centuries, over the years, have bought into this argument of, you know, male-female competition, this glass ceiling, what a man can do, blah, 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 like we're competing. There's a divine nature, there's a divine plan. Women are best suited to nurture, to build, to guide, to teach, to care. But that duty and responsibility where the best of societal members will be produced have been abandoned for this glass ceiling, breaking the ceiling, matching up, proving themselves. They want to. I don't know, but as a matter of fact, I will be happy.
Thank you, buddy. I think I have an idea where you're going to. And I think that's one of the things why the ladies here have demonstrated that you can yes, I'm not one of those that advocates that women must multitask, because I don't always believe that every woman can multitask. Not every woman can multitask. We're all human beings, and we work based on the capacity. Yeah. But I think that I hear your point saying that the more successful women are, it means as though that we're neglecting that our primary assignment, which is home. And I think we've tried to demonstrate that on this show, that we can actually be successful in those areas. Our family is intact. Our children are growing up well, we're managing our time, and we're still doing our career. And I think that's an inspiration to a lot of women that, listen, you can have it all. But at the same time, you don't have the capacity. But if you don't have the capacity, please,
it's okay.
Don't be pressured to push that glass ceiling if you know that you really need that time. So make a choice. Nima made a choice. I want to be my family. And I think we've seen that she's been successful in other areas. So I think it's an inspiration to women, but I don't like us putting women under pressure that you must multitask. No.
You must multitask, or your job is important. Or your job is only to nurture. So he mentioned two things. So it's either you must multitask, or your job is only to nurture. And so do not pursue success and forget the nurture. I think it's just trying to put people in a box, whether they are men or women. People have a choice to make when it comes to this sort of situation.
It takes fire to refine gold. So you have to, something will give. You have to sacrifice something. You have to make certain compromises. You have to try. You know, some women just want to sleep and have it all. You know, and you cannot just have one. And, you know, we've interviewed women we love here. And some of the hardest questions, remember the MD of the, I think, Access Bank or so, that was on the show, and we're saying, how did you do this? She said her daughter.
She had to suffer.
Amina Oyagbola.
The MD Unity Bank.
The former MTN boss. When she was here, she talked about her child You know, she said TV addiction was something that she had to deal with. So something you will suffer one thing.
Give. Yeah.
But you look at the final goal and it's worth it. At the end of look at the women, they were successful, and you know.
I want to speak concerning women in politics. Thankfully, over time, we are not where we want to be at all in terms of female representation. But I want to say that one of the things that I've enjoyed that has impressed me over the past 22 years, that I've seen women at the helms of power display, yes, a few corrupt ones, but many successful ones who've championed several causes that has made me feel like, okay, politics may not be as... I remember clearly, even just at YK's birthday last week, Honorable Ivekadabi was telling me that people need to get involved in politics. People need to get involved in politics. And I could see the pressure because she feels like she's been able to do a whole lot. And she sees there's room for more. And she wants to bring as many women as possible. It's not as bad. I say, Mommy, it's difficult. It's not that difficult. You need to get involved. And that's the thing. Women are fighting for the opportunity. It should be made more easy for women to be involved. But I must applaud all the women that have struggled in the past 22 years to make their voices heard for democracy, despite the hardship that they face being women in politics.
Do you have a call?
So we have feedback.
No, okay, so may I even appeal to, with everything that we have seen so far, I think education in Nigeria as a whole is still very much lacking. So. Lagos State is doing quite a lot, but Lagos State is not the only state in Nigeria. Yes, Nigeria is bigger than Lagos State. So I think the federal government needs to set its intentions known about how they want to take education to. Because, you know, the issues that we have a number of out-of-school children. We have all the people that we see on the streets who at night pick up guns and all of that because most of them do not have proper education. So we need to find a place for... So if we want to fight corruption, we need to start from education. Yes. If we want to fight lack of human capacity, we need to start from education. Every aspect that we want to curb in Nigeria needs to start from education. We need to stop paying lip service. You see those primary schools that people are still sitting on the floor in the 21st century in Nigeria. Whether your state is generating revenue or not, find a way to equip your schools as a state governor. Please stop embarrassing us. Thank you.
But we must comment, there's been developments that we has brought ease. We have the Lagos-Ibadan Railway. And we have Nigerians using it now and commending the president. I must even commend the president for continuing the initial railway refurbishment that happened, the one from Ido and outside Lagos that happened. Because some people will come in and government will not be a continuum on such projects. Well done. We have
to wrap up, but
I'd like to see the Ministry of Justice convict certain high profiles that we've had that are still undergoing trial forever.
All right, so we have to wrap up now, but we must acknowledge a big friend of the house. He loves our show. Not just loves our show, he tries to help us to develop. He calls us once in a while. He calls us out to dinner to explain, to share things that we don't know. And that's the Honorable Minister of Works and Housing, Mr. Babatunde Raji Fashola. We thank you so much. He's watched us grow, and he's taken an interest on the show. And once in a while, just Morayo, I like to see the ladies. Let's have a conversation. Let me open your eyes to some things you don't understand. So he's part of our growth, and we have and we have to really, really acknowledge him. And we also hear that the governor of Kaduna State, Kano, Ganduje, loves our show. We've not met him, but we know he loves our show. So we'd like to have you on the show one of these days to discuss all the... There was time it was scheduled to come, but something happened and he canceled.
Even the governor of Kogi have come.
We'll try to bring him soon as because I know he watches the show. But generally, I think as we wrap up, we just want to tell Nigerians that, listen, let's do our own parts in this growth. Yes, it's always easy to point finger there, but we too, we have the responsibility to paying our taxes, not destroying our property, advocating, getting people involved. Yes,
going out to vote, getting our INEC card, going out to vote, joining political parties, and doing our own path.
Where's your card?
Joining political parties. I'm not a politician.
Because we are on TV, we try really hard not to be on any side. We try really hard because the truth is that there's another thing I should address. Let me see how much time I have. People always assume that we take sides. The truth is we are actually asked not to take sides. We are very, very objective and stay true to the Nigerian people. I think that's what your view has been from day one. Stay true to the Nigerian people. That's all we can take. Congratulations to the other ladies, YK, Mariam. God bless you. We love you. See you tomorrow. Bye for now.
Bye.